Let's talk about liquor license, because that's something that a lot of people have. I've seen restaurants getting taken out because of liquor like they might lose their liquor license and then they're not making enough money. How much revenue, like percentage wise, comes from a liquor license, and how hard is it? What's the challenges in actually getting a liquor license and maintaining a liquor license?
So I have quite a few of those, but it's in the city that I operate in is not that challenging. You just have to qualify, and you have to qualify in two ways. Your location has to qualify, and you have to qualify. So obviously, you couldn't have a license before and do like reckless things with it. You got to be responsible, and then obviously you have to have the capital to build your restaurant, because they want to know that you can actually build a restaurant that you're applying for the liquor license for. And the challenges sometimes is that, when you're applying for the license, you're actually building the restaurant at the same time. So you're actually spending money while you apply for the license. The cost of the license is not a lot of money. It's only $4,500 per bar, right, in New York City. So that's not hard, but finding a location that can be licensed can be a challenge, because the liquor authority don't want too many licenses unless it's zoned differently. They don't want too many licenses or too much alcohol being sold on the same block.
One area.
Right, because
unless it's like Times Square, then it doesn't matter.
Unless it's like a zone like a Times Square or
like Bourbon Street.
Yeah, or things like that, then it's different. Or like Hell's Kitchen has a different zone, but other places, and I'm assuming it's the quality of life, they don't want too many liquor licenses on one block. I believe it's like 4 might be the max or something like that. I'm not sure, but your location has to qualify, so it can't be too close. I think it's the 500-foot rule. You got to be 500 feet away from a school, a church, and other entities that are in the
like a daycare center.
Yeah, things like that. You can't walk out and then there's the nightclub, or you can't walk out then there's things like that. You're selling the liquor store, so they tried to so in that essence, the actual location needs to qualify as well as you qualify to get the liquor license.
When you create a Chop House, obviously you gotta have food courts, but there's also a part of it that you have to market to make sure that people know that it's there. Right. And so I'm wondering, was there a marketing budget, or was it the power of the relationships that you had, cultivated throughout your career that helps inside that marketing?
So it was a combination of both. It's the power of social media, right? So just one person or a few people that influencers, tastemakers, people that just love the brand and and love what we do, because we fuse our culture, whether entertainment, music, food, fashion. We kind of fused it together to create Brooklyn Chop House. So when people get that experience, they share it, and once they share that experience, people may say, even today we're getting a lot of people in Times Square, like, we just came here to see a play and to go to Brooklyn Chop House. So we're getting after being open, the brand being open 5 years, now we're getting people from out of state that's coming in town that they heard about it, or they heard someone celebrated there that was a significant person or celebrity or artist or athlete, celebrated at the restaurant, and they see the social media, because it's not really like the news, it's just social, and people posting how much they enjoy their experience, how much they enjoy the food, they're taking pictures of the food, and that's really what has spread the word around it. And the relationships obviously help. I come from a promotion background, so I left this part of it. I used to throw parties as well, like 1 or 2 big parties a year. So I had a small network of people that came to support. But it's not just that; it's just the brand is standing on its own, and the experience of when they come there are the two most important things. Obviously, the food. People like the food, but you want to have a good experience in a nice place.
Yeah, like I said, they see me there probably at least once a week. So
Oh yeah, I see him.
I'm doing my promotional purposes. So let me ask you this. So you said the two biggest costs that you could control are food and labor.
Yes.
We talked about food. Let's talk about labor.
Okay, so labor, you have to be able to control, to schedule correctly, know your market, right? So I don't open for lunch, right? Lunch at one point prior to COVID was a big daytime part, a big segment of the business. But right now it's not as big in certain markets as it used to be because the traffic isn't the same. The traffic changed.
So people aren't working.
People aren't working
Remote.
as much
They're remote.
from the office. Maybe it's 3 and 2, right? Or maybe it's all at the office. So all at home. So what happens is you have to know your traffic patterns. You have to know how to schedule, and that's a huge cost because obviously there's a lot that goes into labor, and New York City requires that you do it the right way. So we pride ourselves on having quite a few employees that help us execute. And when you're busy, you need more employees. So, but when you're not busy, there's some slow times. You have to know how to control your schedule.
What are some other costs that are associated with the business? Obviously, you said food and labor, but there's other costs that people probably aren't aware of if they're trying to get into the space that they probably should be aware of and prepare for if they're going to.
Yeah, so I think knowing your location, you heard the term location. Mm-hmm. Knowing the right location for the concept that you're doing, right? So, for instance, you might not want to open up Subways in your neighborhood when everyone's at work during lunch, right? Because Subways is primarily a sandwich, is primarily a lunchtime item. So you might want to position your franchise or your brand if you focus on lunch, you might want to put that near an office complex where people are at work, where people need to grab lunch, right? So it's all location, right? So I think that, and obviously negotiating the deal, and try not to have high rents, which is tough in certain markets. That's a non-controllable cost because that's a fixed cost, right? So you have fixed costs that you have to obviously be aware of, from garbage to electric to rent and cleaning services and things that you must have as far as running a restaurant. So you have the fixed costs, and then you have things that are in your control that you must control, else it hurts your bottom line.
So you got the variable cost and fixed cost.
Yeah.
The variable
Insurance you put in there too?
Insurance would be a fixed
Fixed
cost
cost,
because you can't control
Right.
the insurance rate.